Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Mother's Day event, where we celebrate and honor the most important women in our lives, our mothers. Thank you to all the mothers and women present in this room for attending this event on a late Saturday afternoon. We are here to acknowledge and honor the role that a mother plays in each of our lives. Truly, Maa Tujhe Salaam. माँ एक ऐसा शब्द है जो मेरे दिल में उम्मीद जगाता है। जब भी माँ शब्द मेरे जहन में आता है तो सबसे पहले ख्याल आता है sacrifice, unconditional love and putting children before oneself. My mother has instilled in me several valuable life lessons that I hold dear to my heart. She has taught me the importance of compassion and being kind to everyone, no matter their status in society. She's also taught me the value of giving to those in need, especially the poor and less fortunate. One of the most significant lessons that my mother has taught me is the importance of living a simple life. She always emphasizes that simplicity is a key to live a peaceful and successful life, and that material possessions should not define one's happiness. My mother is an amazing role model to me. हालांकि कभी-कभी उनकी advices थोड़ी ज़्यादा हो जाती है, which makes it hard to follow them. But I am grateful to have her, and I really look up to her. जिस दिन एक औरत माँ बनती है, वो उस दिन से अपने बच्चे के लिए सपने बोने लग जाती है. सपना कैसा भी हो, छोटा, बड़ा, वो उसको पूरे करने के लिए सबसे अहम है पैसा. Money. Our great nation offers tremendous opportunities today, and whatever we dream can be achieved. Such is the business environment, which is why we have a special session today on how to dream big and achieve those dreams. In your case, achieve those goals for your children. This program is brought to you by Sahayak Associates, a family office and a wealth management firm founded by an IIM alumni, Mr. Sandeep Sahni, and insurance expert, Mr. Puneet Kohli, in association with India's Women's Network sister organization of CII. We would also like to extend a heartfelt thank you to our generous sponsors, Pinnac, NJ Wealth, White Oak Capital Mutual Fund, HDFC Mutual Fund and Tata Mutual Fund. So, without any further delay, we are honored to have Miss Nagina Bains, CII's IWN Chairman, who is here with us today and will share her insights and experiences. So I would now like to invite Miss Nagina Bains to share welcome thought. Can I have a round of applause for Miss Bains, please?
Good evening, everybody, and Akshita, chairperson, not chairman, not chairwoman, so yeah, that's fine. We welcome you all on behalf of CII's Indian Women Network and Sahayak Associates, which is a wealth management firm, as you just heard. Welcome you to this special Mother's Day event today on 13th of May. Allow me to tell you how we have tried to endeavor to make it special. We firmly believe, we all know, I think from birth to death, the relationship that remains most pivotal, most profound, I think the most selfless, unspoken bond of love is between a mother and a child. And no matter how much we do and how much we express, we always think we have not done enough. And you will all agree with me that the best compliment you can ever receive is when someone says you're just like your mother. Having said that, a woman embodies a lot of roles, right from birth, a daughter, sister, mother, emotional relationships, now entrepreneur, leader, and various other roles, friends, guide, philosopher, agony aunt. But I think there's one role which needs training. The rest all come very naturally to us. And that role, I think, is in financial planning. So I think we all know we are very good at saving, extremely good at spending. But I think where we need direction is growing. We know how to save, we know how to spend, but we all need lessons, or we all need direction in how to grow our money. We know we have ideas, we can make our products, we can generate money, but how to multiply it is an area which I think now has become a necessity for any financially independent woman. So that is the whole thematic semblance behind this event when Sandeep ji and I thought of doing something special for Mother's Day, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. Endeavor to make this aspect of a woman also complete. So we welcome you all. A lot of things have been planned, and I think we should start. We're beginning with a panel discussion followed by a little dialogue between a mother and a child, and a very much awaited presentation by Mr. Sahni on how we can plan our wealth and multiply our money. So we all need to know that SIP, systematic investment plan, now goes much beyond just giving a good upbringing to your child. So that is the SIP we need to learn about. And I think we can begin. Thank you all for joining us, and looking forward to an engaging conversation, an engaging event today. Thank you. And please do wait for high tea.
Thank you, Ms. Baines, and I'm extremely sorry. I think mistakes make us more human. All right. Also, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Akshita Negi, and I am a corporate trainer, and I also co-run an IELTS Institute with my husband. So if any of your children want to prepare for IELTS, you can contact us. So with that, we will move on, and I would like to welcome our esteemed panelists for the panel discussion, Money Talks with Maa. Our panel includes a group of self-driven mothers who are on a journey to make a difference. So we have with us Miss Kavita Chatterjee Das, former principal, St. John's High School. Dr. Preeti Jindal. Yes, please, we can have a round of applause for Miss Kavita Chatterjee Das. Dr. Preeti Jindal, Director, Touch Clinic, Cosmetic Gynecology. Ms. Garima Singh, Special Secretary, Finance in Punjab Government. And Ms. Sejal Singla, Founder, Orne Group and A2A, and an investor. Our moderator for this panel discussion will be Ms. Nipa Sharma, who is an event specialist and an artist. So may I request all the panelists and the moderator to please come up on the stage. Please give a round of applause to these beautiful, lovely, inspiring women. And with that, over to you, Ms. Sharma.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, you audible?
Is it audible?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So welcome all you four fabulous ladies on Mother's Day. A very happy Mother's Day to everybody to begin with. And let's just give ourselves a big applause. We've done well. Let's start with the young entrepreneur, investor, Sejal. I'll take a second to just say a line about you. She comes from a family of entrepreneurs anyway, so she's got it already there. But what she's done is at this young age, she has established 2 companies of her own, and she's an investor like Akshita rightly pointed out. So we have 5 minutes on this panel, and so we'll just have to be a little conscious of the time, otherwise we're going to run late for the next. So Sejal, I'm going to run some questions by you.
Sure.
What are the money lessons that you have learned from your mother?
So the number one lesson that mums taught me is learn to earn your own money. So I come from a family background and I'm a Banya. So in our family, women are generally dependent on their fathers, brothers, husbands for money. So the first thing she said is that I want my daughters is to be financially totally independent. You don't have to ever ask for money. And that's one lesson that we started off. And I lost my dad at a very young age. And I think after that, everything made more sense. And I became like super ambitious, not after money, but just like I wanted to prove something that yes, women can do a lot of things. And once they're on the right track, with the right guidance, we can make a difference.
Sure. And I understand you're a mom too.
Yes, that's right.
So you have a little
I have a daughter.
You have a daughter. So having come from this kind of a background, and you are breaking some of those barriers and setting a good example, what would you pass on as advice to your child?
So my daughter is very young right now. The only thing I want her to understand and learn is that you have to be financially aware at a very young age. You need to understand what's the difference between your wants and needs. I know there is money, you have your parents, you have your grandparents, but don't ever take money for granted. You don't get into irresponsible spending. It's very niche for me to have long-term plans, but for short-term I would say that yes, money is something that has to be earned. It multiplies, it grows, so never take it for granted. Never think that it is something that's going to be there with you forever. You need to plan and understand and then spend it.
Okay. What do you think is your biggest money blunder, if at all? If at all?
There is. As in my introduction, you said that I'm an investor. So I thought that I can invest in the stock market and make money. I've taken formal education in the financial stock market, and I've been investing in it for the last 8 years. And despite of being very educated, I thought that I speculated. I got into tips, I read money suggestions, and I thought that I can make easy money too by just investing without putting my thought into it. And of course, I lost a lot of money in it.
Well, you learned from it.
Yeah, that's
right?
the biggest money blunder. And I think I'm happy that I made this mistake at a very young age.
Right.
So now for my future, I know where Sandeep like this. So, yeah.
All right. So what is the money dream you have for your child? As a mother, not as
like I think
as an entrepreneur.
I might sound funny saying it because I'm a young mom, but like all mothers, there should be enough money in her bank account at 18. She can study wherever she wants in the world, and I can do a fancy wedding for her. I don't know if the marriage concept is going to be the same like after 20 years, but at least that's my dream for her, that there should be enough money. And I hope I'm able to achieve it.
That's lovely. It's very, very inspiring to know that at my age I can get inspired, by someone as young as Sejal because of her journey. And it's not a regular journey. I don't know too many people who is like Sejal. Does anybody? I mean, she's been investing for 8 years. So she's, it's something that I am not very familiar with. So, way to go, Sejal. All the best to you. And we'll talk to Kavita ji. Kavita Das, of course, needs no introduction. Everybody knows who she is, respects who she is, and cannot, we have not enough words for what she has achieved in the 16 years as principal of St. John's. Are there any St. John boys here? Yeah?
Sandeep is a Johnian also. Sandeep is a
Okay,
Johnian.
yes. All right. So, as a principal for so many years in a boys' school, what have you come across any instance where you have actually, found kids who are more savvy than the others, even in their school years? You see a lot of that today, but in your years, 16 years, you may have seen kids who have shown that spark. And do you think that came from a certain background, or is it just environment, or maybe the school had something to do with it? Because teachers are the biggest influences after the mother.
Yes, we did have some kids, I mean, not a huge number, a handful of them, who distinguished themselves with what I would call their financial savvy. And some of them were from business backgrounds, but some of them just had a flair for money, and money matters. And you're right, I think the teachers make a very big difference in encouraging children to pursue a passion rather than telling them you're still in school, you're still too young, focus on your studies, don't get involved with money matters, leave that to your parents, which is very frequently done. But because they had teachers who were very supportive and were there, and of course we were especially blessed because we have a very strong alumni, and they were also available to these kids. So we were able to get them in touch with the alumni who would further their knowledge. And as a result, they were able to progress and do very well at a very younger age.
Wonderful. Personally, would you have any specific money lessons that you would like to pass on to your children?
I think, the young lady who introduced herself in the beginning, a lot of what she said about her mom is what I would give to my kids. It's a sense of money is very important. Without financial stability, we struggle. But still to understand that money is not the be-all and end-all of our existence. We have to strike a balance. We have to know when we can rest content with enough. And to tell them, pursue something that will give you financial stability. Make sure that you have provided for yourself and your family. But at the same time, take out time for yourself and be sure to share your blessings with others. That sense of I, me, mine must not be there in life. We need to reach out to the less fortunate. And unless you do that, then that sense of joy, happiness and contentment is never going to be a part of your life. So money has to be also spread around, not just conserved for yourself. And that is what I would try to teach my children.
Okay,
is reach out as well as reaching inwards.
And you think you've made headway?
I think so, yes.
Wonderful.
In school,
That's
we've got a lot of programs which I've involved my kids with also, where every year the children were getting involved with an NGO of some kind or the other, and understanding that there are a lot of marginalized people out there who need support, who need love, who need your financial help as well. So the kids were taught that you identify a need and you have to earn that money, you can't take it from your parents. So they would have things like canteens, and make something and sell it. They would get that money together, but they were not allowed to dig into their parents' pockets. So when they helped somebody, they were helping them by drumming up the funds themselves, which in its own way was a financial education for them, and handling that money, using it to buy what was needed, presenting it. And that sense of social consciousness and responsibility was equally important in the development of their sense of finance for the world and themselves.
What is that one money habit, if at all, that you would like your children to change? If at all.
Spend, but don't splurge. Always stay within your means. Have fun, but never at the cost of risking yourself for others, is what I would tell my kids. Not that they're doing it, but it's what I try to make them keep understanding, that never go beyond your limits, because then you're going to be in trouble. So
Sure.
stay within, enjoy yourself, and learn to enjoy yourself within what you have, because that is I think the seed and the root of true contentment is learning to be happy with what you have. It doesn't mean that you don't strive for more, but at the same time, it doesn't make you so restless that you lose that inner peace and contentment, which every human being, I think it's more valuable than money.
Sure. Thank you so much, Kavita ji. Having said that, you have an example right in front of you. She is quite an embodiment of what you actually said. So that's wonderful. Congratulations. We're coming now to Preeti, Dr. Preeti Jindal. She needs again no introduction. She is Akshita has already introduced her. She's a senior consultant gynecology and IVF, and she is the director Touch Clinic, Ali. Preeti has had a career that has been which includes many firsts. But besides being a career woman, she is a mother. She is first a mother, right? She's first a mother and then a career person. So we're going to talk about her role as a mother. So as a working independent mother, your perception to how to handle finances is perhaps a little different from someone who is not a full-time working person, right? But we don't want to delve into all that because that's a big subject. Coming down to simple things like we are talking about motherhood. As a mother, I know Kavita ji also said a couple of would sound similar because we are all of the same, we come from the same background and understanding. What is a lesson that you would like your children to imbibe from you, the way you are today?
So can we hear? Yeah. What I would like my children to imbibe and what I have always tried to give them as a working parent is that first of all, make yourself independent. You have to build up on your background. You should, doing the business and being an entrepreneur is very good, but there should be a base to it. And so studies, I come from a professional background, so that's what my parents have always said, build yourself up. Your core should be strong, and then you can go on to in the world and explore and earn money. Earning money is a good thing. We have to teach the kids that they should not be scared of earning money, but earning within the ethics and also knowing that everything comes with time. There are no shortcuts. So it's very important that you should be fully developed, mature personality, and you should walk into the society with some principles in life. That is very important, and the rest follows.
Right. So principle is a very key thing to growth. Whether the goal is financial or not, the way to is where principles matter. Right? Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Okay. And again, regarding children, what is the one money habit of your children that you would want to change, which means they already have something that you may not agree with, right?
Yes. So actually they have been under very controlled environment, so they have very less of vices as of now, but then still we always keep on telling them that they are quite innocent, which I'm sure most of the kids of our generation have, because they are so protected. We are like helicopter moms, all of us. So, but then we still tell them that you should be careful where you are spending. Do not have explore. Just do not go and buy something. You should explore 4 things and then research on it. As simple as buying a very small thing. First do your research, then study. Now because of Google and all this, it's very easy to study. We did not have all that exposure. We'll just go, suppose we have to buy one television, we'll just go and buy from one shop. But now you can explore, you see what is right, and then see whether it is cost benefit also or not. Just don't go after that my friend has it, so I have to have it. So do your own research and then spend money and then you buy. This is what we do.
Okay. And again, what is one money lesson you may have got from your mother?
Same, I am from professional background and she would say my parents, they were doctors. I just lost my mom, she was a gynecologist, and one thing she always said was every woman should earn her own bread. Do not be reliable or do not rely on anyone else to give you food, one. Second, always have your hand like this. Money will come. Do not keep your hand like this. Try to give as much you can and everything will fall in place. And third, she said, money increases with saving and you should not, no matter how much money you have, it will always be less. But then do not just go on spending it. The more you save, the more richer you are. These were the lessons given to us. And one lesson which was not given was about investment, which I think this is a very good panel. We never invested into anything.
Thank you, Preeti. Now we'll move ahead to Garima Singh. Garima Singh Akshita has already introduced her. I'll just say a little bit more. Garima started as a top student through her school and college, and today she is Secretary Finance Punjab. It has been a very steady, a very predictable growth for her because she has always excelled in whatever she has done, whether it's been studies or coming up with interesting ideas for development in the area she's been. And the interesting and one fun fact, an interesting fact, is she's also an artist. So, is that something you spend some time on, or is it like some time? Is that something you actually spend time on?
So it's been very interesting. I was in UKG's Rose Festival. आपने सबने सुना ही है ना सब? So I was sent by my school for a painting competition. And before the prizes could be announced, my parents brought me home के prize thoda na and I stood first. So I started in UKG and I continued through my school and college life, and once I joined the services, so it was, I think life got too hectic. Till COVID came and we were all locked inside. So then I really thought, okay, let me restart, and I couldn't find paints. So I started with the pencil color of my daughter. I restarted, I would say. And then since then I've been doing watercolors on weekends.
That's what.
Yeah.
So on hindsight, COVID has opened a lot of doors for a lot of people, despite being locked up. So Garima, I don't want to throw you the same questions. I just wanted you to tell us, as a financially independent person, quite early in life when you joined the services, you would have been exposed to how society treats women as far as finances are concerned. I'm asking you particularly because you were in the services, so you were in direct touch with a lot of places where normally me or Preeti or Kavita would not be. So I'm just asking you, what do you think we as a society need to do what do we need to create to push women to become financially independent? Because even in our so-called modern society, we have too many obstacles to cross before we can consider ourselves financially independent. So with your experience and your reach of even rural areas or wherever, you would have a different perspective. So I was wondering if you want to talk on that.
Yeah, I think that's a very sensitive and crucial topic because yes, maybe audience sitting here comes from a background where there is a lot of exposure and opportunity we give to our daughters. But बहुत सारी majority strata इस country में ऐसे हैं जहाँ ऐसा नहीं है. And even talking about the educated class, sometimes we just think that the daughter studies and is married off. आज भी शायद थोड़ी सी सोच है. It's very important. If you have to be really independent in life, economic independence is a very important part. जब तक किसी से मांगना पड़ेगा, you cannot, so-called जो आपको इज्जत मिलनी चाहिए शायद मुश्किल है. So किसी से मांगना ना पड़े. ये तो हम अपनी daughters को बताएं कि इतने सक्षम हो जाओ कि कमा के खा सकें. So it's a very important because बहुत complicated है. It's so many social and so many issues have result in this kind of thought process. और as mothers एक और हमारी बहुत बड़ी responsibility है. Daughters को equal opportunity देना तो एक हिस्सा है. उससे ज़्यादा ज़रूरी हिस्सा है अपने बेटों को ये बताना that the respect जो एक वुमन को मिलनी चाहिए उसको बचपन से सिखाना होगा, ताकि बड़ा होके जब वो रिस्पेक्ट देगा then only the society will change. Because अपने राइट्स के लड़ने से नहीं होगा, दूसरों की सोच बदलने से.
बिल्कुल.
So it is, I think the men who need to understand that yes, they are biologically different, but in fact I would say जो biological role और जो हमारा एक motherhood वाला role है, that's so beautiful. So we should be respected for that. So this has to be cultivated in the society, and the change has to come with that thought process.
Do you think schools would play a role in
Schools
this?
have to play that role. We are so focused on curriculum, but we have to sit and
Absolutely.
talk about these things. We have to tell our boys,
Yeah.
yes.
What about, what do you think about, there have been instances where educated girls are working and then they get married and then that's it. That's the end of the road. It's a common thing here. So I don't know, financial independence means a consistency, right? So someone who has had a financial independence but gives it up under societal pressures, what would you comment on that?
It's very difficult, to comment on something which is so personal. बहुत मुश्किल है किसके क्या family circumstances हैं. And I think women have that sacrificing. मैं वही कहती हूँ ना कि biologically बेशक one can maybe say because we are meant for different roles. हमें equality करनी ही नहीं है. We are इसमें मैं अब्दुल कलाम जी को quote करूँगी. Somebody asked him कि what is the difference between man and woman? He says nothing. They are equal partners in nation building. So we are equal partners. We don't have to compete. Maybe वो जो sacrificing patience वाली nature है. So maybe the woman sacrifices for the family, which is okay.
But I heard, I think it was Sandeep saying that women would make better investors and financial, in the financial area. Why? Because they are very, very regular in their EMI payments. So, which means inherently it's there in us. We just need to fine tune it. And maybe that's where Sandeep and his expertise comes in. Where we have run out of time and I'm getting looks from Sandeep. So we need to end this. Thank you so much, Kavita ji, Sejal, Garima, Preeti. And we shall meet again soon to discuss this further, and hopefully by then we'll have a better perspective and a happier perspective. Thank you so much.
Ms. Soumya Tripathi of MBIT to felicitate our panelists and our moderator. So I'm extremely sorry, could you please come up on the stage and accept your gifts? And I think we all enjoyed everything that you all have mentioned, especially what Ms. Singh said about being financially independent for women. And I resonate with that thought. That's exactly what my mother says. Can we have a round of applause for these lovely ladies here? All right, now we are going to move on to our next segment, which is called Money Aspirations of Gen Z, featuring Dhairya and his mother, Mrs. Shikha Khera. And this session will be moderated by Ms. Ashna Vinod Gupta. May I have a round of applause for these people? And may I request Mrs. Shikha Khera and Dhairya to come up on the stage. Over to you, Ashna.
Hi. First, let's give us some introductions. Yeah, Dhairya. So, would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Dhairya. I specialize in acting, yo-yoing, and investing.
You didn't tell them your age.
I'm 12 years old and I'm currently studying in Strawberry Fields High School.
And Ms. Shikha, what about you?
Good evening. Happy Mother's Day to all. So I'm Shikha and I have two children, Dhairya and my daughter Shari. Currently I've taken a sabbatical from work, but I devote myself to my spiritual practices completely. Thank you.
So, something that Dhairya forgot to mention was his interest in investing. He's been investing in the stock market since a very young age. So, Dhairya, could you tell them what kind of investing you've been doing?
I don't invest in stocks. I don't really invest in other forms in assets like crypto. I find that quite erratic. So just that, yeah.
So, Dhairya, what makes you take that path of investing at such a young age?
Because I feel like a lot of children are compressed from being independent in financial matters. And like, people say that give rights to everyone. But people still neglect the fact that children aren't allowed to make independent financial decisions, which is why I started.
So what do you think are some of the goals that you want to achieve by this, and do you think your mother would agree with those?
I wish to be financially independent before, like, say, 18. And by financially independent, I mean to be able to have the freedom of choices and money to back me up.
Would your mom agree?
Well, that's a question for her.
Absolutely. I think financial independence is something like, our panel so beautifully said, that financial independence is something which we all dream for our children, but like Dhairya very beautifully said, that we don't give it to children. So we'll always tell our children, you are too young for money matters. Like, like Garima very beautifully said, that we have to teach the boys at a young age to respect women. I can't expect my son to be 30 years old and learn respecting women. Similarly, I can't expect my son to be 30 years and start doing financial planning then. So it needs to be inculcated right from the beginning, like hygiene, like discipline, financial planning, value of money.
So when was the first time that you gave Dhairya his first financial lesson?
I think around the age of 8 or 9, I can recall an incident when when it was his birthday and he got a lot of money to spend, and we left it on him how he wants to spend that money. And I think, would you like to share how with the crowd?
So I went to a store called Hamleys and I made my first big money blunder there as well. I bought an overly expensive toy without seeing how good it was. It was, now most people would refrain from saying prices, but I'm not going to refrain. It was 4,000 rupees, complete junk. If there was a gimmick that it could transform from a toy-controlled robot to a car, I bought it. And that is one that brings me to another point of how people manipulate you to make decisions about money. Common way of this is advertising and stuff.
It's so interesting that you can already catch on that as a 12-year-old, because when I was 12, I probably didn't even know what advertising was. So good on you, buddy. So tell me something that, you mentioned about being financially independent, right? As a goal. What are you doing to achieve that goal? And if your mother is helping you achieve that goal, how is she doing that?
So currently, my mother, how she's helping me is to be financially independent. I have to excel in the sphere of life I'm currently in. This is considered the school years. Every stage of life has had that, from the beginning of intelligent human civilization to like now. And my mother is really helping me achieve my targets for this stage of my life.
Ma'am, could you tell what some of the things that you've helped him through this time?
I think like most of us would agree, they're far more smarter than we are. Like so many things like he's sharing, I feel I don't know them even till this day. I think for money lessons, I consult Dhairya. So, I remember him saying probably 2-3 years back that when you earn money, you put them in 4 boxes. What were the 4 boxes, Dhairya?
So these consist of your financial expenses, your assets, then they consist of your saving, because, well, there's a rule in finance that goes, don't put all your eggs in one basket. So in case all those eggs in all those separate baskets fall, I still have a backup fund to help me. Then there's spending on myself, because earning. You shouldn't do that. Have fun.
Chill also.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I think this 12-year-old is more informed and organized in terms of his finances than most of us present here. So please give him a round of applause for being ahead of us.
There still is one box left, which consists of donations, because you focused on people, like you focused on earning money for yourself, you focused on spending it yourself. Society helps us in spheres of life, and by society I mean there are many people here who might have gone for classes. People, the society, whichever society you live in, wherever you live, people help you. So by donations, I mean helping the people around you back.
Yeah, so charity.
Yeah, great. So Dhairya, is there anything else that you'd like to add in terms of how you go about knowing and informing yourself about these financial decisions that you've been taking?
Well, for financial decisions, I used to have a lot of teachers, my dad and my mother. She taught me some of the most important financial lessons at a young age.
Yeah, I'd like to add one lesson here. I understand money is a very important necessity for living. Money also has a mindset. Are you coming from a mindset of scarcity, or are you coming from a mindset of abundance? So I try to tell Dhairya and Shari to come from a mindset of abundance. Scarcity will never make you feel rich. Money is also a feeling. Somebody who has lots of money for me might not feel that rich. So let's try to come from a mindset of abundance. And probably my lesson to Dhairya would also be this, that come from abundance and like he said, charity. Like my mentor also says, become a man of virtue and influence.
I think I would like to agree to that. So Dhairya, would you like to thank your mom for teaching you and giving you all these great lessons?
Of course.
So we have a little something that we've gotten for, I believe you haven't gotten her a gift for Mother's Day, have you?
I have.
Where is it?
I will.
Oh, you'll give it to her tomorrow. But we have one for you today to give it to her, so if you could tell her thank you. I won't let you go empty-handed. I have a little something for you as well. Here you go. Thank you, Dhairya.
Ma'am, if you permit, I have a question with this little child.
Please.
Hello, beta.
Hello.
Nice to listen to you. And I have two questions. How you pick and choose the stocks?
So you see what that company is doing? So a lot of people think that stock market is luck, which it is actually not.
Yes.
It is about calculations, like what stock price the stock is at, availability, inflation prices, if it's going to go up or down. You can make all these calculations by seeing the stock's performance in its past and reduce by what you think it is going to be with inflation added, of course.
So you study all that, then you choose and pick.
Yes.
Good, good.
What are your favorite stocks?
ITC. I love ITC.
Now, my question is, you are an intelligent person. Can you give latest tip? Anything where we can
Well,
let us utilize your this knowledge?
Well, two of my favorite stocks, three I'm going to mention. Reliance, it's a very well doing stock. Inflation is going to kick in and it's going to be worth a lot. Like some time back only, quite a lot of time back, it was worth around 2,000 rupees. Now it is worth quite a lot more than that. Quite. ITC, ITC is one of my favorite stocks. It is a stock that continuously does pretty well. It has its lows, but it's an overall very good stock to invest in. A safe stock, I would say.
So you invest in multiple stocks or you have selected them?
I invest in multiple. Don't gather too little eggs. Gather as many as you can.
Thank you so much. Wonderful.
Thank you.
जिसमें रसोई का राशन और माँ का अचार रखा जाता है, जमा पूंजी के नाम पर इसमें पैसा भी जमा किया जाता है। अच्छे वक्त का कुछ हिस्सा इसमें छुपाया जाता है। पर क्यों? सवाल अचार जितना तीखा है, पर हम सबको खुद से ये पूछना है, क्या पैसे को बरनी में डाल के कभी बढ़ाया जाता है? इन बरनियों में अचार पकते हैं, पैसे नहीं। तो क्यों ना हम अपने पैसों को ऐसी बरनियों से आजाद कर दें, इन पैसों को म्यूचुअल फंड्स में इन्वेस्ट करें। An investor education initiative by HDFC Mutual Fund.
We all are taken aback by the intelligence of this little kid, and I wish I was this smart when I was 12, but we can't go back in the past. If I ever have a kid, I want her or him to be just like Dhairya. Okay, with that, I would like to invite Mr. Sandeep Sahni to present a session on investing in motherhood. Please give a round of applause to this brilliant man.
evening, ladies. Thank you so much for sparing your time and coming here today. Today's session is all about Maa Tujhe Salaam. And truly, thank you so much, Maa Tujhe Salaam. You know, whenever I think of Ma, there are certain words which come into my mind. माँ, वो मेरी बदसलूकी में भी मुझे दुआ देती है, आगोश में लेके सर गम भुला देती है। यूं लगता है जैसे जन्नत से आ रही हो खुशबू, जब वो अपने पल्लू से मुझे हवा देती है। मैं अगर करूं अनजाने में कोई खता, मेरी माँ उस पर भी मुस्कुरा देती है। क्या खूब बनाया है रब ने ये रिश्ता माँ का, वीराने घर को भी जन्नत बना देती है। माँ के बाद कौन मेरा सहारा है, यही सोच के मुझे कभी कभी रुला देती है। माँ तुझे सलाम। You know, investing in motherhood. Today we're going to be talking about only two things. जब भी माँ के बारे में सोचता हूं ना, तो एक ही बात याद आती है। माँ सारी जिंदगी दूसरों के बारे में सोचती है, अपने बारे में नहीं सोचती। अपने बच्चों के बारे में सोचती है, किसी और के बारे में सोचती है, पर अपने लिए नहीं सोचती। And I think she has an equal right to do what she wants to do with her life and to spend the money and not feel guilty. So how does she do that? You know, I think the most important thing is financial independence for her. And the second thing is, in today's world, in where we are today, you know, they say there are three kinds of lotteries that you can have. One is a lottery that you win, as a matter of luck. Second is an ovarian lottery, and that lottery is when you are born rich. And the third is the chronological lottery, and that lottery is when you are at the right time at the right place. Today in India, I think we are at the right time at the right place. Tremendous wealth is going to be created in the next 15-20 years in this country. So you can dream as big as you want for your children, and those dreams will be achieved. And we'll just tell you how that can be done.
You know, why do you need money? You know this wonderful song from Andi, though this song was for some other purpose,
but still, तेरे बिना जिंदगी से कोई शिकवा तो नहीं, तेरे बिना पर जिंदगी भी लेकिन जिंदगी तो नहीं. This is why you need money. You know, this one dialogue, मेरे पास माँ है. I think this changed the entire. You know, ये dialogue कभी नहीं भूल सकता. एक तरफ सब कुछ है और एक तरफ माँ है. This is the role of माँ. You know, and this is what माँ does for everybody. And this is really, really iconic. So why is wealth important for a mother? I think the first thing is to ensure that you live a comfortable life. Second, for the sense of security it offers to you. The power of choice it gives you. The chance to give your children the opportunities you never had. I think important thing. And the confidence that you can live in a life of dignity, a life of luxury. The ability to help the less fortunate. Like Dhairya said, one of the buckets has to be for charity. You know, after listening to Dhairya, I'm really feeling scared. Mothers, please get prepared. These are the aspirations of this generation. Are we ready really to fulfill these aspirations? He wants to be financially independent at 18, and I'm nearing my retirement, I'm still not financially independent. So boss, हमें तो तैयारी करनी पड़ेगी. So the ability to help the less fortunate and the sense of power it gives you. The women empowerment. Everybody is talking about women empowerment today. And let me tell you, it is not only about, it's not only a fashion statement, it is actually true and it can actually be done. So what's the point of getting wealthy anyway? I always say, if you have money, then you don't have to worry about it. नहीं तो क्या होता है, सारा टाइम यही सोचते रहते हैं, यार ये पैसा कहाँ से आने वाला है, ये पैसे के बिना क्या करेंगे. तो एटलीस्ट पैसा है ना, तो जो चिंता है वो छूट जाती है. Plus money can give you the freedom to pursue what you love doing. It can give you the freedom to pursue your passion, to do what you actually like doing. And money can buy you time with your family and friends. Otherwise what happens is you're spending too much time chasing money. So that is why money is important for you. And what is financial well-being? We talk about financial well-being for everybody, especially for mothers and especially for women. So what is it? It's making the most efficient use of financial resources, is in a position to absorb any financial shocks. अच्छे दिन बुरे दिन तो सबके आते हैं, Are we in a position to absorb those financial shocks? To be on track for meeting current and future financial goals and have a feeling of satisfaction and peace about financial life. That is financial well-being. And I think all of us deserve it. And mothers, especially you, I think you deserve it the most. You must have a sense of financial well-being, and that will definitely pass on to your family. Like Shikha said, I want my children to come from a background of abundance and not scarcity. Financial well-being hoga, to aap will come from a background of abundance. Like our Prime Minister also says, women empowerment. Economic freedom is very important for women empowerment. They must be partners in economic development also. I've seen that women are very good at adapting to the latest technology. We should link women and technology upgradation. The country today is talking about women empowerment. Everybody wants that yes, women should be empowered, and they should be financially independent. Why do women, especially women and mothers, need financial independence? There are special money needs for women. There's an acute need for an emergency fund, like I said, अच्छे बुरे दिन तो कभी भी आते हैं. So you need to have an emergency fund. And I've seen that mothers always have an emergency fund. उन्होंने कहीं ना कहीं किसी ड्रॉर में, किसी बर्नी में पैसे छुपाए होते थे कि ये जो पैसे हैं मेरे काम आएंगे या फैमिली के काम आएंगे जब कभी कोई जरूरत हो. Generally, women have non-career breaks to start a family or to look after a family. Like Shikha also said, she's taking a sabbatical to look after her children. So that is why during the sabbatical also she needs to be financially independent so that she can take all the decisions herself. Higher life expectancy. Now this may surprise a lot of women, but generally women outlive men. In India, the life expectancy of men is I think 70 years and women is 72 years. So women outlive men. That is why they need to be financially independent. A lot of times when we do retirement planning for people, right, they come and tell us, okay, I'll live up to 85. And I turn back and tell the gentleman, boss, your wife is going to live up till 90 most likely. So you need to ensure that you take care of her also. So that is something which is very, very important. Unexpected and unfortunate events. A divorce or the death of the spouse is an unfortunate event which can happen. Right? And that is something to be prepared for that. I think वो दम तो नहीं शायद बुलाया जा सकता, पर अगर पैसे हों और financially independence हो तो शायद वो थोड़ा सा कम हो सकता है. So for that also I think we need to be prepared. Then mothers need to be prepared so that they can take care of their family. And financial independence gives you a choice to do what you want. Like I said, it gives you a choice whether you want to spend more time with the family, look after the children, or to pursue your career or to take a break. You can choose your priorities if you have financial independence. Can plan better for life goals and family. And this is again something very important. Like Dara said, I want to be financially independent at 18. So how do you give him financial independence at 18 unless you have that financial independence and you can pass it on to the child? So enjoy life on your own terms. Take a holiday, buy your bags, go shopping, do whatever. Go on a girl's trip, do whatever you want. Don't need to ask anybody to do that or to feel guilty if you're doing that. कि ये तो पैसे मैंने खर्च कर दिए, अब उस खर्चे का क्या होगा? At least वो तो ना. And live a life of dignity. Please understand, earlier it used to be like this, but now no longer it is true. Marriage is not a financial plan. You need to plan for yourself. And having children is not a retirement plan. For our parents, I think maybe we were the retirement plan. But for our children, we don't want to be dependent on our children. And I don't know whether our children will take care of us or not. Maybe they will. I'm sure they will. But do we want to be dependent on them? No. So we have to be independent. Right? And let's ज़माना बदल रहा है तो हम भी बदलें और अपने बच्चों को अपना retirement plan ना समझें. And research and experience, as Nipa mentioned, research and experience actually shows that women are better investors. Women are more disciplined, more focused, and more goal-oriented. Whenever we go to an investor and talk to them about financial planning, we try and insist that the lady of the house should be present. Why? Because we find, that she is more disciplined. She is more focused. She is more concerned that will my children's education be taken care of? Will their marriage, will I be able to spend the kind of money I want to spend in the marriage? And all those kind of things. So that is why we always prefer having women present. And we know for a fact that when the women is present, when the mother is present, boss, इसके तो goal financial जो हैं वो पूरे होने वाले हैं. Otherwise क्या होता है? Whenever they need the money, the gentleman will come and redeem, and that's the party over. This is something which we need to change. Money is not for men alone. Money is for me. Earlier it was, okay, let me leave the finance. मुझे तो पैसे के बारे में मालूम नहीं. मुझे तो investment के बारे में मालूम नहीं. So the money decisions were made by men. Mothers, ladies, please make the money decisions yourself. It's very easy. It's no rocket science. Let me tell you, I'll show you how it is not rocket science. And today in this digital world, everything is there at the, press of a button. आप अपने phone पे, I think everybody here has a smartphone, and the best of the smartphones. All the apps are available on your phone. You can do whatever, sitting anywhere in the world. You can buy, you can sell, you can redeem, you can do whatever you want. So it's not difficult, it's no rocket science. And let me tell you the common mistakes which women make. We are actually not ready for inflation. I'll tell you a simple thing, dining out with families. I think in 2000 it used to cost a family of 4 could have a wonderful meal in a fine dine restaurant at 1,000 rupees. Today maybe it is 5,000 rupees without drinks. In 2030, 1,000 to 5,000 in 20 years, maybe in the next 10 years, it will be 5,000 to 20,000. Are we ready for that? Let me tell you another thing. Dining out तो फिर भी रहने देंगे, कोई बात नहीं जाएंगे. Medical tests. A medical test was 500 rupees. Today it is almost 4,000 rupees for a comprehensive medical test. 10 years down the line or 15 years down the line, a complete comprehensive medical test will be 40 or 50,000 rupees. Are you ready for that inflation? And let me tell you, the medical tests are not covered by medical insurance. That we have to pay from our own pocket. So that is something which we need to be actually prepared for. Leave aside the basic things like bread and milk and apple and all those kind of, or the petrol. But the other basic thing, are we really prepared for it? I don't know. Second common mistake which women make is saving versus investment. I think women are wonderful savers. Every woman saves. But what happens? Saving is when you have money kept with you in the drawer. Investment is what? Investment is when you make that money grow and make that money earn money for you and make that money multiply. That is what is investment. Saving is what you have with you in your home, in your locker, or in your FD. Investment is when you make that money grow, and it grows manifold. Let me tell you, I'll show you the next slide. We always feel that a small difference in rate of return doesn't make a major difference. There's this wonderful rule of 72. Now this rule of 72 says that 72 divided by your return is the number of years it takes for your money to double. अगर आप 6% का FD कराएंगे तो आपका पैसा 12 साल में डबल होगा. और अगर आप 15% लेट्स से स्टॉक मार्केट में इन्वेस्ट करते हैं थ्रू म्यूचुअल फंड तो 15% का रिटर्न आता है. 15% का रिटर्न इसलिए बोल रहा हूं क्योंकि पिछले 40 साल में 16% का रिटर्न आया एवरी ईयर. राइट? अगर 16% का या 15% का रिटर्न आता है, दैट मींस योर मनी इज डबलिंग एवरी 5 years. Now we all have 35 years of working life. We start at 25 and we end at 60. So how much difference will it make? Let's say you invest 1 lakh rupees and you put it into an FD at 25. Right? That 1 lakh rupees will grow to approximately 8 lakh rupees by the time you turn 60. But that 1 lakh rupees, if you invest in the market through the power of compounding, it grows to what? It grows to 133 times. That is 1 crore 33 lakhs. And if you by chance get an 18% return, it grows to 328 times. 6% और 18% का तो सिर्फ 3 times का फर्क है, but जो पैसा इकट्ठा होता है, that is almost what? 50 times. That is the power of compounding and that is the difference it makes to your wealth creation. So the choice is yours, whether to invest in an FD or to invest in an area where your money can actually grow. Please. Let me ask you one thing. I'll give you a, let's say if I ask you, if I give you an offer and say, मेरे पास एक जादू का रुपया है, वो जादू का रुपया जो है वो 31 डेज के लिए रोज डबल होगा, 1 का 2, 2 का 4, 8, 16, 32 इस तरह से होगा. और एक तरफ मैं आपको बोलता हूं आप जादू का रुपया मत लो, आप मेरे से 1 करोड़ रुपया ले लो. So which one would you like to take? Anybody? Oh, not you there. Anybody? Jadoo ka rupiya. Okay, wonderful. Right, anybody else? So this day is for mothers, so you can't answer. Yeah. Anybody else? What would you like to have? 1 rupee, which doubles every day, or 1 crore rupees on the first day itself? 1 crore. Somebody said 1 crore. Wonderful. A bird in the bag is more than 2 in the bush. So it is always better to have 1 crore now. Fair enough. But do you know what that 1 rupee can grow to in 31 days? Any idea? Anybody? There are not you again. Don't raise your hand. Anybody? That 1 rupee can grow to what in 31 days? I show you in the next slide. It's for a fact. That is just to tell you the power of compounding. अगर 1 रुपया जादू वाला रुपया रोज डबल होगा तो 31 डेज में कितना बन जाएगा? आप गिनती कर सकते हैं. If you want, no sir, not you. गिनती कर सकते हैं. पहले दिन 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. बोलो 128, 256. लेट्स से राउंड ऑफ कर देते हैं 500, 1000. तो 10वें दिन 1000 हुआ, 2000, 4000, 8000, 16000, 32000. 15वें दिन 32000 हुआ. What do you think it will grow to in 31 days? More than a crore. What else? What if I was to tell you 25 crores? Do you think it is possible? About that chessboard. Yes.
Where the king grains of rice.
Lost his kingdom because of that. That one rupee goes up to 107 crores. That is compounding. On the 20th day, it is 5.24 lakhs. On the 25th day, it becomes 1.67 crores. And then it becomes 107 crores in 31 days. Pardon me? I'll come to that also, ma'am. So actually, this was just to tell you the power of compounding. This is what compounding can do for you. So you must keep that in mind. I'll tell you another. People don't start early. वो सब सोचते हैं कि बहुत time है. I have this wonderful slide of Karishma Kapoor and Kareena Kapoor. The 2 sisters. Karishma was a very diligent, investor. She started at the age of 18 and she stopped at the age of 25. She started working early. तो उसने 10 लाख रुपया इन्वेस्ट किया हर साल till the time she was 25. तो उसने 8 साल में 80 लाख रुपया इन्वेस्ट किया. And the amount she collected when she was 40 was 12.84 crores. When she was 50 was 51.96. When she was 60 it was 210 crores. Similarly, Kareena enjoyed herself for the first 3, 4, 5 years of her working life. She started investing at 25. Then till the age of 60 she invested 10 lakhs every year. She invested a total of 3.6 crores. But still at the age of 40, what did she have? 6.4 crores. And at the age of 60, she had just 116 crores. She's invested 3.6 crores. She's invested 80 lakhs. But still the amount that she has grown, that she has created is far more. That is why we say that you must start early. The only way to create wealth in the stock market or any market is through compounding. कोई जादू की छड़ी नहीं है, सिर्फ compounding है. अगर कंपाउंडिंग होगी उसके लिए टाइम चाहिए तो आपकी वेल्थ क्रिएट होगी. It is as simple as that. Now if I was to tell you the same thing, let us say I give a lot of mothers and grandmothers also here, and I know for a fact there are a lot of mothers and grandmothers who can afford 10 lakh rupees a year to be invested for their children or grandchildren. Invested when they are 18 or when they are 1, till the time they are 8, and by the time they hit this age, in 35 years, they'll have 210 crores. आप लोग know that. आप लोग, I think you spend a lot of money on the children, on parties, on everything, but also spend on this. If you can do that, I think this is the best thing you can do to give them financial independence. And this is actually possible. It has happened in the last 40 years. People have created this kind of wealth in the last 40 years. Next. See, like I said, the stock market, Sensex started in 1979. You know, it was 100 at that time. Today it is 62,000. It has grown 620 times. Bank FD has grown 16 times. Sona, gold, in 1979 was 913 rupees tola. Aaj it is 62,000 or 63,000. So it has grown almost 63 times. Real estate, we are all from Chandigarh. In 1980, maybe a 1 canal house was around 5 lakhs. Today it is, let's say, 10 crores. It has grown 200 times. But the market has grown 620 times. So we are not saying put all your money in the market, but put a substantial portion of your wealth where it can actually create wealth. Next. Zamana badal raha hai, so I think you need to change your habits. We are all governed by our habits. हमें सभी को जो पुरानी आदत डली हुई है, हम उसी आदत को फॉलो करते हैं कि my mother did this, so I am also doing this. But I think we need to change our habits. I'll tell you a small story on this. You know, the first change I think you need to do, like Shikha also said, was discuss money matters in the family. Discussion related to money are considered taboo in Indian families. A lot of families, there's no discussion about money. पैसे की बात नहीं की जाती. But I think now the time has come to discuss money. Unfortunately, money and personal finance is not taught in schools. We all think we know everything about it. I have actually written a complete book on this, on what my MBA did not teach me about it. Leave aside what my school did not teach me about it. Because we see people making the same mistakes. Everybody makes the same common mistakes. So we tell them that please don't try and avoid those mistakes. Like I was telling you about habits. I think all of you have heard about Somnath temple. Right? Somnath temple in Dwarka. So, उसमें क्या था? It was found in the 4th century. Now, earlier at that time, there were no banks and there were no safe deposit vaults and stuff like that. So, people used to, deposit their wealth in those temples. ये सोचते थे कि temple तो एक बहुत पवित्र जगह है, इसको कोई लूटेगा नहीं. Nobody will try and loot this temple. So, they used to do that. Unfortunately, in the 11th century, Alauddin Khilji, उनको मालूम पड़ा कि सोमनाथ टेम्पल में तो बहुत वेल्थ है, बहुत लोगों का सोना जो है वो वहां पे है, तो उन्होंने जाके उसको अटैक किया और सारा के सारा सोना ले गए. बट द इंटरेस्टिंग पार्ट इज दैट इन द नेक्स्ट 5 years, आई थिंक ही लूटेड दैट टेम्पल 17 times. तो 17 times क्या हुआ? लोगों की एक आदत डली हुई थी, जब भी वो लूट के ले जाता था, लोग जाके फिर वहीं पर रख देते थे. अभी तो लूट लिया उसने, अभी दोबारा नहीं आएगा. Why? Because we were used, it is a habit. It is in our comfort zone. हम अपने comfort zone से बाहर नहीं निकलना चाहते. अभी तो नहीं आएगा वो, अभी तो ये दोबारा नहीं होने वाला. So that is why it used to happen. We are all governed by habits. Even today, I am not saying that please don't invest in FDs. But if you invest in FDs and you get a 6% return before tax, and we have some tax experts here, and after tax it will be 4 point something %. Which will not even beat the rate of inflation. So you will not be able to do your medical test after 10 years, nor would you be able to buy petrol maybe after 10 years. So that is something which is very, very important. Next. So what are the things that you should look for in investing? Any investing. I think the most important thing that you must look for is to beat inflation. पहला रूल क्या होना चाहिए कि आप जहां पे भी इन्वेस्टमेंट कर रहे हैं, it should beat inflation after taxes. That is the most important thing. Then you have the factors: convenience, transferability, risk and return, transparency. Transparency is very important. I think for everybody. कि ये तो नहीं कि मैं आज खरीद रहा हूं तो मुझे चीज 100 की मिल रही है, उनको 110 की मिल रही है, किसी और को 90 की मिल रही है. ऐसी बात तो नहीं है. जब मैं बेचने जा रहा हूं, will I get a fair price? So that is something which is very important. Tax efficiency. What is the minimum size of investment? Liquidity, I think, is very, very important. कि जब मुझे पैसा चाहिए, क्या मुझे पैसा मिलेगा या मुझे वेट करना पड़ेगा. बहुत बार क्या होता है रियल एस्टेट में, जब बेचने जाता हूं तो बिकती नहीं और जब खरीदने जाता हूं तो मिलती नहीं, राइट. और जब भी रियल एस्टेट में क्या एक प्रॉब्लम होता है, a lot of times what happens is my real estate is valued at, let's say, 50 lakhs and I need 5 lakhs. What do I do? So that is another issue. And return should be greater than inflation post-tax. So these are some of the factors which you all must consider. Next. So have a balanced diet. Create a perfect recipe. All of you are very, I know you can create a perfect recipe. So have a balanced diet. Put some money in equity, some in real estate, some in gold, some in FD and bonds. Please do that. Next, I want to talk about dream big for your children. You all have dreams for your children. But please dream big for your children. We've started these two clubs called the Fire Club and the Billionaire Club. Fire is financial independence, retire early. Now today's generation wants to retire very early. And when they mean retire, they don't mean that they want to stop working. They want to have a choice on what to do and what route to follow. Right? So that is what they need to do. And second is a Billionaire Club. Billionaire is 100 crores. We made a mission that we'll have 1,000 billionaires. We'll create 1,000 billionaires in our lifetime. Only 1,000. I think we can do much more. Right? So please have a dream for your children and for your grandchildren that you want to leave 100 crores worth of financial assets for them. Like I showed you in that earlier slide, it's not very difficult. You people have the patience. You have a long-term orientation. You have the discipline. And if you start investing, I'll just show you. Next. A simple thing. 18% return. I'm not saying that the markets will give an 18% return. Maybe it will give a much lesser return. But just to illustrate a point. And this is no guarantee for any future returns, but just to illustrate a point. If you have a 40-year horizon, if a child is born today, and if you want to give financial independence to the child at 40, you start investing 18,000 rupees a month. And you will be able to achieve that financial independence. The child will be able to have 100 crores. Dream 100 crores for your children. Similarly, I'll say simple things. We actually did it. Recently in a wedding, a friend's daughter was getting married. So I gave him this idea. I said, why don't you gift her 25 lakhs? Why don't you invest 25 lakhs for her and forget about it? Make her the nominee. Invest in your name, make her the nominee, or have a joint account. And he invested in a joint account between him and his daughter. 25 lakh rupees, and by the time, I think in the next 35-40 years, she'll have 100 crores. That is what is financial independence. Dream whatever you want to dream for your children. Let me tell you, mothers, that dream can be achieved. We are in that stage today. Our country is in that stage today. That any dream that you have, that dream will be achieved. Just dream big. That's all I can say. You already have all the ingredients. You have the financial resources, you have the patience, you have the discipline, you have the long-term approach. You just need a perfect chef. And maybe present ourselves as the perfect chef. Why Sahayak Associates? I'll tell you the first thing. Why Sahayak Associates? Please come on to the stage, ladies. We have this team of ladies, young ladies. We also find that ladies are much better in money management than men are. So we have a team of ladies, to service your requirements. They relate to your needs. They relate to what you need. They have that empathy, they have the compassion, they have everything. So please feel free to contact them, and get your financial journey started. Thank you.
Well done.
Last but not the least, something which I always tell everybody. The first thing is legacy. Leave a legacy. To leave a wonderful legacy, you must write your will. You must plan your estate. This is something in which most people are lacking. We have a vertical in which we help you write a will. We help you execute a will. And this is something in which everybody is lacking. Please, you must have a will written for you. COVID has taught us any unfortunate incident can happen at any time. So please don't leave it for that. And you must have insurance. Ensure that the earning member of your family has a term insurance and you all have a sufficient health insurance to cover any unfortunate incident which may happen. Maa Tujhe Salaam. That is what all I had to share with you today. Thank you. We have a free consultation session for anybody who wants to do that. We call it a financial health checkup. We have a lot of doctors here who do a medical checkup, but we can do a financial health checkup for you. So anybody who wants can register for that and we'll get in touch. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and I think we all can see that men have finally accepted that we are better investors, and it's not far away that they will accept we are better in every aspect. So thank you so much for that. And now with that, I would like to invite Mr. Puneet Kohli, co-founder Sahayak Associates, to felicitate Ms. Nagina Benz, chairperson IWN. A round of applause for them. I would request Ms. Benz to share some closing remarks.
None of the women have moved, the phone has hardly rang. Goes to show that we all needed to hear this. I think you will all agree with me that we, like I said in the beginning, we needed an insight into this. I'm sure you'll have a lot of us coming to you for Sahayata very soon. We all needed a complete in-depth understanding. He has made it so easy for us to understand why we need it and how we can go about it. And I think if I may add, the difference between just making more money and being financially free is what is very clear to us today. We might be making a lot more money, but we also have to make sure that it is making us financially independent, free, confident, and secure. So that has been conveyed very well, and that was the whole idea about organizing this event on Mother's Day, and I think that's what we have been able to achieve. I invite you all to also join the Indian Women Network that CII has. The Indian Women Network is the women's part of the CII, that's the mother body. And we work under various avenues, which is health, policy and advocacy, and membership development. The idea is to bring women from all across, all genres, whether it's a social worker, professional, entrepreneur, business, doctors, whatever, to come together and facilitate the growth of a woman in her journey to be more complete in whatever she endeavors to achieve. So we're a bunch of us, and this year has we've been able to make a mark in a lot of avenues, and I invite all the women present here to become a part of the Indian Women Network as a special gesture on Mother's Day. And of course, please do go for a financial health checkup. I'm going to. I think it's time for us to have some fun. Please join us for high tea and for some chit chat and some fellowship. And thank you very much to all the panelists who have been able to come and participate. To Garima ji, Dr. Preeti, Kavita ma'am, Sejal, and there's a very stalwart woman who's present here amongst us, Mrs. Sudha Sharma. She's a very, very senior officer who's retired. And if I may add, she was one of the first women in her times, I think 69, 68 batch? 70. Batch of 70 she did her UPSC. Very few women even thought about entering into the area that time. And she has been an inspiration all along, and she is here today as well to tell us that the journey has to keep going. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Sandeep ji, for organizing this so beautifully. Kudos to you and your team. And thank you to the audience for joining us today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Baines. I request all of you to join for high tea, and also don't forget to collect your gifts at the reception counter. Thank you so much and happy Mother's Day.
A mother is the epitome of strength.